There is the issue and the big elephant in the room about the tariffs. 25% tariffs and 25% penalties, 50% tariffs that are already applicable now, even though the trade talks are underway. Is this the right forward? Because, in the past, we've seen over the last 25 to 30 years, a strategic bilateral global partnership between DC and Delhi. Does this impact this entire partnership?
Oh, it takes it in the wrong direction. I don't think anyone benefits from tariffs. Obviously, India and Indian workers, they're a major export market, sending Indian products to the United States. It's going to impact Indian workers, but it's not going to help the U.S. consumer either, because we're seeing inflation and prices go up in the United States. So nobody benefits from a trade war. So it's my hope, again, high-level Indian officials, Jaishankar, Piyush Goyal, others are going to be in New York this week. I hope they're meeting with, Secretary Bessent, the U.S. trade representatives and others, and hopefully they can get to a better place where both sides see the potential of victory. It started out as though, earlier in this year, with some of the digital services things, that things were moving in the right direction. Obviously, the last month and a half has not been what I'd like to see. Just talking behind the scenes, talking to business executives and others, I think there's a desire on both sides to get this to a better place.
We had the chief negotiator from the United States, Brendan Lynch, in India. He had a marathon meeting with India's chief negotiator, Rajesh Agrawal. And at the end, they told me that it was a positive meeting and they are heading towards perhaps the 6th round of the trade talks. Do you believe Trump's deadline of a November trade talks and the trade deal would finally materialize? This is something that the Democrats have been really waiting for, and they have been for a win-win situation for both India and US?
I'm coming up in my 14th year in Congress, and having spent a lot of time working on the US-India relationship, the trade deal's always been elusive. We've gotten close at times, but we've never been able to get there. I think there is an opportunity to get there. You can look at the template of how Japan's approached things, Korea, others. That might be a playbook that the Indians can use. Again, can you get to a 15% tariff level? Can you get to more U.S. companies investing in India? I think we see India as a real opportunity as we look at moving supply chains out of China. The defense-to-defense relationship seems to be strong, and so forth. So I think there is an opportunity. Again, my hope is you'll see high-level meetings taking place in New York, and at least a framework of something better can come out of this. Now, I know President Trump talks about the Russian oil and the amount of purchases. From my perspective as a senior member on the Foreign Affairs Committee, I think this is also an opportunity for India to flex its diplomatic muscles. President Trump sincerely does want to see an end to the conflict in Ukraine. It's been elusive. I think he's been disappointed with Vladimir Putin. The Indians have different lines of communication. They have a longer-term relationship with Russia. They probably will continue to have that relationship with Russia post-conflict. I think this is a time for Indian diplomats to step up and go to President Trump and say, let us participate here, give us a chance to help find a resolution here.